So let's welcome everyone in. It is What's Up Wednesdays. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. We are Crunkfit, but we have this wonderful platform, What's Up Wednesday.
Yes.
I am Wendy.
And I am Miss Melissa, guys, and this is our time to be able to connect with our community, our people. This is what it's all about, the connections, the conversations, what we can exchange. That's what this thing is all about, and I can't wait to get started.
Melissa and I get together and on Mondays and we talk about things that go on in the week and just stuff that's going on in life or topics, random topics that come up last week.
Current.
We had a fabulous conversation last week. And this week we decided to really just switch it up. And it is, can relationships survive the age gap? And of course, you know, I threw something out there and Melissa is adamantly against it. And I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to see both sides of that coin. And it is about, you know, when you get into a relationship, whether it is a woman or a man dating someone
Older or younger.
You know, 10, 15, 20 years, they're senior.
10 years
that
plus,
relationship.
it's always the marking point. 10-year point, 10 or more.
So, you know, before we get into the details, I want to make sure that we take into consideration, right?
Yeah.
When you're talking about that kind of age gap, you were talking about one person is generally more mature, the other one is coming into their own. We live in Miami, so we see that quite often.
Yep.
And you wonder what's the relation? What do they have in common? You know, is it real or is she just a gold digger? Or you know, you think about all those things come up in this environment. And you know, Liz, you have never experienced that, but I have. And I have friends that are in relationships that have an age gap. And we had a discussion about whether or not it can survive. So Melissa, because you are so adamantly against it, let's start with your opinion. Then we'll start moving into where it could be and where it can thrive.
Here's the thing. I mean, I'm not adamantly against it. It's just I believe there is a significant effect when that age gap is 10 years or more. I mean, I really feel number one, first and foremost, being in different developmental stages in life can pose a big issue. You know, where somebody has just started a career, somebody is thinking about retirement. You know, we're talking about real, true midlife crisis. Like it varies. And I always really feel that in regards to interest, energy level, conversation, perspectives, and goals, it's just hard. I really do believe that one person has to sacrifice a lot for the relationship, whether it's the older one or the younger one. They have to come to a point where that they're willing to take that on. I mean, what's your view?
Well, I have been in a relationship where that age gap was that big. And I can tell you that mistake number one was that it wasn't an authentic connection. There were reasons other than love, you know, so now we go to the whole gold digger thing, right? I was in my 20s. He was 20 years my senior. I was a single mom, 2 babies, raising them on my own. I was simply looking for someone who could take care of themselves. I wanted to finally meet someone that I didn't have to take care of.
Yep.
Because I was a G. Day one. You got to survive. You got to make it happen. Whether you're with me or against me, I got to keep it moving.
Let's go.
I never relied on someone else. Yeah. But I kept following my heart. And in following my heart, I always wound up picking up the weight. So I got so over it that I just wanted someone who had their own. That was the driving force in getting involved in this kind of relationship. Because at first you're like, ugh, gross. Like, ugh.
But maybe not, because you never know where they are.
Girl, please. I was 24. I was like, okay.
Nobody is this tight.
But,
I promise.
but I just wanted someone, I was so desperate to have someone that was stable, because men my age in their mid-20s, you know, don't have it together. We're all still babies at that time. And it just wasn't, you know, I didn't have much success.
Right.
Two people in those different stages.
Yes.
One mind is still developing. The other one has already done so. One hasn't even hit their prime. The other one is starting to settle in.
Yeah.
You're only going to continue to get older.
Yeah.
So I was meant for disaster from day one. I was setting myself up for failure from day one. We did not have a single thing in common.
Oh,
Not one.
That's a big one.
I was his Barbie, and he was
He
was my rock. That was it. Stability, foundation. And he would take me down from the shelf and play with me every once in a while. And I would come up and play my part. But it was very eccentric, you know. We lived the majority of our relationship in two different states. And we would see each other. We lived together. Our address was the same. But we only saw each other maybe 2 days a week, which suited me just fine, because I had my own life with people my age, and I was living my life, and I did me. But we were doomed for failure from day one.
Oh, yeah.
However, I know people who are in a loving relationship despite the age gap. So my question becomes, because I've been watching them grow and watching them develop, that neither one is going to get younger.
No.
One in their prime, one is starting to settle in.
Yep.
I find that, and they have a lot in common. And they got together for the right reasons. And there is genuine love and care and just beauty. But I think about, again, the age gap, and what does that mean? Yeah. And it means that not one person has to sacrifice, they both do. Because ultimately what it comes to is the meeting of the minds. And if you're going to survive something like that, and it's authentic, you both have to compromise to make it work.
Definitely.
Would I ever date someone younger than me? I mean, at this point in my life, I married my husband 3 times, and I told him that he would have to divorce me 3 times. And what would that leave? That would leave him in the negative.
Yeah, hello.
Way in the negative. So, yep, I'm that one that's cheaper to keep her. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
I make sure that you're locked down for 3 lifetimes.
Aww.
Forget about it.
I couldn't. You know, it's the age gap. There's a stigmatism there. You know, I just feel the relatability won't be there. I'd be so scared of the conversations. Like for me, Steve was the youngest guy I ever dated.
But he's younger than you. Is he younger than you?
No, he's not younger than me, but he's 8 months older than me, but he is younger than, the youngest guy, because I dated 5 years my senior, not more than 5, but 5 years for sure, because I seen the maturity. You know, when I was dating so young like that, I saw that the older boys were just more mature than anybody my age. Again, fast forwarding, it's different. I think of their relationship, and that is so true. You have to think out the box when there's an age gap in your relationship. And like you said, the meeting of the minds, that is the number one important thing. You guys got to have stuff in common. You got to have your expectations kind of laid out. Because if not, you know, there's going to come that time, the biggest drawback from either side, whether the person is younger or older, there's that conversation about considering being a caretaker. Someone is always going to have to fall and be the caretaker, the strongest person out of the group. I mean, in any relationship, it's like that. But with that age gap, we're talking about that's a real thing. How do you feel?
Okay. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Amen. That's right.
And your maturity level has nothing to do with the number of your age.
Nope. You're right.
We've learned that the hard way. People see you and Steve together. And Steve, Liz, you know I love you, right? But you know me and you are clowns, right? We clowns together in this life. And our husbands are much more mature than we are.
Way more.
And we're the same age.
Yeah.
If my husband hears me say, I'm surprised he's not running over here to tell me right
Be
now,
like,
you're older. Because I do. I'm older than him by a year. But, you know, I tell him all the time, but that we're the same age.
yeah, that's right.
Get away with it ever. We're the same age for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He doesn't let
That counts.
down. And, you know, again, the heart wants what the heart wants. So your minds are developed in a different way. And some are old souls and some just are forever young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when they get together, okay, fine. So now you have 20 years, right? And
Yeah.
that is the case.
Now they're older.
Forever young. I prayed and I hope that
Me too.
that love really carries you through, because whether age gap or not,
Yep.
if you are, you know, because in me and my husband, again, I am 4 years old in my house, and he tells me all the time, he'll turn to me and he'll be like, did anybody play with you when you were little? Like, what's wrong with you?
Kinda.
And I'm like, no. So it's you now.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm 4. That, you know, and it doesn't matter. I'm 51. I'm still a child.
Yeah.
That's what I do at home. He gets to see
Right.
the side of me. And that's what we're going to take into the rest of our days. So even though I will be 70 and he'll be 69, I'll still be 4 doing dumb shit.
Me too.
And he's just going to have to deal with it. Like, I can't twerk to save my life. And every time I attempt to,
You say that. I think
this,
you are motivated.
I paid for classes. I came home and I dropped it. And I was like, babe, but can you see it? I was like, babe. And I turned around and I was in the room by myself because he just walked away.
Maybe after the second lesson.
He went to go look for the phone number to get my money back.
Oh my God, I love that. Look, New Root says ditto. Hello. I believe you can do it too.
It just doesn't work. But doesn't matter age gap or not, the work has to be there.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice for one another.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Don't you want to just come home to one person and just be happy? Like, I can be happy all the time, you know, but don't you want to have the best experience that you can?
Yes.
I don't want to struggle. I like coming home and snuggling
You
up with
easy.
the small saltine cracker that I got. I will take it.
Yeah.
I will savor that same taste and crack for the rest of my life. I'm good.
It's
good.
all perspective.
I
That's
would
really
rather
what it
work.
is.
I would rather work to save my relationship than just look elsewhere to think there might be something easier on the other side.
Definitely not. Yeah, again, I agree. Again, it's coming to terms with things that can be, things that are inevitable, but how we can bridge that age gap, like successfully with things like avoiding miscommunication, like you said, you know, always focusing on mutual interests, you know, stuff that you guys like to do or love to do together, or maybe just don't mind trying.
Yeah.
But always making that effort. I think no matter how old you are, you know, Steve and I being married like 28 years, that's you gotta compromise. You gotta like what they like, and then they'll like what you like, and you know, just keep on keeping on, finding those connections always. You know, with everything, with everyone. I really feel that that's what it's really about. If you really want to savor that relationship for however long you want it for, you gotta be interested in what that other person is interested in. You got to make effort in that connecting. And then also in the same token, maintaining a sense of individuality también. You know, I really feel that is very, very important for us to have our own time so we can always identify and reconnect with who we are personally, but always making time for your mate, no matter how busy you may be. I just really feel those factors right there will absolutely help anybody in their relationship.
And that's the truth. You can't get lost in your relationship. You can't get lost. You can get swallowed up by the person that you're with. You can lose yourself because you're just
Priceless.
apart.
Is.
And you have to remember to stay grounded.
Yes.
To stay true to who you are. Or as close to it, because we make sacrifices for the peace in your relationship, because you have to. There's no way to stay fully true 1000% to yourself without you know, causing issues or your person not being completely happy because you totally disregard and are selfish. Because you can't carry on the way you want to carry on with no regard to the feelings of the other person.
Yeah. And that's where I think that, you know, a lot of the times that's the sticky part right there. When you guys are not trying to be considerate, that's the biggest thing. Think about it in any relationship, whether there's an age gap or not. If you're not being considerate to the other person, how's that supposed to work? Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, let's not fool ourselves. You know, it's not like that. It takes serious effort. I didn't sign my marriage certificate and be like, done. All righty.
Yes, that is true.
It's every day I wake up and start it over again. Press that reset button. Like, just really take all that advice that you hear and you read about and apply it, man, because it works. And some days you're off. Some days it ain't perfect. Some days it is ugly. But you know what? It's not. What happens is how you handle it, how you're willing to move through stuff. If it's worth it, you zip your lip, throw the key away, and just love and appreciate and be grateful what you do have, because the grass is never greener. I promise.
That is true. And because we started this on the age gap, because the sacrifices have to be made. One person has to remember that this person is much younger, so you are gonna have to come down and live a little. Live a little, because this one is just coming into their prime, and you want to be able to share that. You want to be able to still have some enjoyment together while enjoyment is still working.
Yeah.
I don't say this teasing me. I'm tired all the time. And I tell my husband that I'm getting old all the time. And you know what I realized yesterday?
What?
That I'm not getting old. I just happen to work at a job that requires me to be up crazy early in the morning, so I am tired.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Because if I didn't have to get up at that hour in the morning, I'd still be partying, doing what I do the way I do it. It's just nothing but a number. My husband and I will still be doing all the things that we always did had I not had to get up so early in the damn morning to be
You're right.
I'm not getting old. I'm just really tired from work. That's it.
And again, energy is energy. And when we're, watching what you're eating, again, you always talk about that. That really helps with your day to day. It does. It makes you less tired. I like for you, like I know you do fasting and stuff like that. To me, that's all a part of it. That's why you can do what it is that you do. And I love that. I learned so much, guys. It's so cool. There's so much to just having a balanced life, no matter how old we are, no matter the age gaps in our relationship, just being in a relationship, wanting to be in a relationship. It's so cool just to share and learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Being in a marriage, being in any relationship, whether it's a friendship,
Preacher.
if it's your parents or your grandchildren or your spouse, or it doesn't matter. There's always going to need to be a sacrifice. It can't always be your problem, your issue, your unhappiness, or your happiness. You just can't go on that way. In order for you to be able to move on in a healthy way and find some success. Hello there, sir.
Hi.
Stepped in the house. For those of you who don't know, he invited us onto his podcast last week, and it was amazing. What an amazing experience. Thank you so much for that. That was awesome.
So awesome.
I hope I want to know how the pastor's tendonitis is doing.
Right?
I want to make sure he's still working it out.
You got to keep on working it.
But yes, it takes work. I told you earlier this week that in order for my marriage to be successful, and I'm not saying I do this every day, but I am mindful. I am very aware. If anyone talks to my husband, he knows it's the truth. In order for your relationship to be successful, you have to treat every day like it was the first day. Oh, you have to love on your partner and show them affection and remind them that you care. And one of us always tells the other first thing in the morning, I love you, or have a great day, or whatever, every single day. We don't let a day pass. I come home and I do the foolish things that I used to do, maybe not as sprightly as I used to in the beginning, but I make sure that every day I do it. Try to say something or do something to remind him how much I appreciate him. He does the same for me. That's right. People make fun of us because every time we're together, I'm always rubbing his head, or I'm touching him, or hugging him, or kissing him, or giving him googly eyes from across the room. And they still call us the newlyweds. We've been married 16, we've been together 16 years. We do. We truly do. So annoying. You're like, cut it out already, huh? Come on. But we have to make the effort. I work Monday through Friday. He and I used to work 24 hours a week away from each other. That was it. We spent every other minute, every other hour together, with the exception of 24 hours a week for like 12 years. I started working at this place. I work there, I'm there between travel time, 55, 60 hours a week. Yeah. It is really, really different. Yeah. I try to make sure no matter how tired I am, I come home and I cook dinner for my husband every single day. We still make sure to sit down and break bread every single day. It's the one habit that we... As you should. Listen, guys, listen. That's important stuff. Breaking bread together, praying together, doing those little tasks that you think are like no big deal. Take the time, put the phone down, look at each other, talk to each other. You have your glasses on? Huh? You have your glasses on? No. Because the comments are coming in. I'm going to have to grab my glasses. All right. Let them know they are always together, even when you are not together. Absolutely, Tessie. Let them know that they're always together. Thank you, Mommy. Mine are far away. Let's see. Let them know they are always thought of, even when you are together. Listen, so just I gotta put the glasses on. I can't. This is what happens. Okay, so I said I wasn't getting old. My eyes tell me something different. I'm getting wiser. That's what they're saying. I'm gonna have to
Why,
put that
sir?
line down. Hey, listen. Being in a relationship is not easy. Um, it's a challenge every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to take your person into consideration and understand that it's a sacrifice worth it.
It
It's
is a
a sacrifice. There's no way around it.
There is. But you do it for something that you love, for something that you, I mean, just, that's it. When you love it, you'll do it. That's your reason because you appreciate it, you're grateful for it, and you'll change. You'll do whatever it is that you have to within your boundaries. Again, don't be something you're not. I don't believe in that at all. But where you find your mate, there's commonality there. Just keep that connection because we grow and we get older. I gotta say, going through 3 different decades with my husband really showed us that.
That's impressive.
We
That is
party
impressive.
so
30 years?
different
That's
now.
impressive.
So you just got to keep up with your own times. What are you into now? What do you like? Oh, that? Oh, you don't like that anymore? You got to know. You got to ask those questions. It's so important to be in communication with your mate. Be very real. Be honest. So many people are so scared to be honest. Be honest. Let your mate know what you want exactly the way you want it. If you want to make progress, if you want to be compatible with your mate, where you just don't want to look no place else because your mate does it for you. And the only way they can do it for you is if you tell them what to do.
And you're right, Tessie. Tessie leaves a message here. When you love each other, you'll make the world
Yeah.
move for them. And that is true.
Amen.
Uh, there are no limits to what you'd be willing to do for the other person. But you have to do it for one another. When you say you need to communicate, ladies and gentlemen, public announcement.
Yes.
Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. It is the truth. Women are overcomplicated where men are incredibly simple. We as women cannot assume that our mate should automatically know what it is that we want. Why? Because they don't think the way that we do. And I want you to think about the relationships that you've been in. Remember all the dramatic scenes that we caused just because we wanted to get a reaction, and they're like, but why? What's wrong? And it was us. If we got into an argument, we were like, oh my God, the relationship's over. I'm packing my stuff. I'm going, and then you laugh about it afterwards because it was like, it was just a blue pen. I didn't have the black one. Sorry. And they are just simple. My husband reminds me all the time, black and white. Just say it simply. Whatever you need. But I expect he's not emotional like I am. I am overly complicated. My story requires every single color in the box of crayons that comes with 100 and something colors. Remember the big jumbo pack?
Like 108 or something crazy.
My husband is regular Roy. What is it? Roy G. Biv.
Yeah, like
The 7 colors of the rainbow. That's it. Simple. That's it. He doesn't need all of that.
Yep.
All we need are simple flashcards. Like go, yes, now, tomorrow.
Yeah. Please,
Simple.
thank you.
But we are so overly complicated, and we forget that. And this is not all the time. But we make things a little worse than they really need to be. If we spoke in just simple black and white,
that's it.
We would get so much more done.
Again, the woman of preacher said, making sure you're secure. Couples making sure they're secure. And the only way they do that is by talking to one another, guys. That's the only way it happens. You have to let your mate know what it is now, what's on your mind right now. It's different than it was maybe a year ago. It changes. And you got a lot for that change. You got to give it.
Yeah.
We make it extra. Yes, you know what? I know I do. I know I make it extra. For sure. We
really do. Again, the way we started this conversation, ultimately, that is the message at the end of it all. Yeah. Is that age gap or not, communication is key. Communication in simplicity. You don't require anything other than that. You don't need all the riches. You don't
Those are nuggets.
all the material things. You need clear communication.
Connections, yes.
We're still a work in progress. I am so far from perfect. I still, you know, my husband and I still do it sometimes, and he'll be like, "When did you tell me that?" I was like, "Yeah, don't you remember? This is what I said." He was like, "No,
Didn't you get it?
tell me." I'm like, "No, but I did tell you," and it was probably because I told three other people, like three other my girls, and I thought that one of them was him, and the message never got sent.
At least you told somebody.
I hope he's not watching this. I hope he's got his earpods
You'd be like,
on. Just answering emails and not listening to this conversation, because I will not admit.
I will not. But you're right. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Learning and growing. That's what it's all about. Just understanding where you are, where you want to be, and just loving one another no matter what, age gap or not. Again, you got with each other, you saw something in common. Just make it your business to keep it that way. Keep it fresh, keep it new, and keep yourself in a thankful state, man, because you got some companion, which is so cool. It's neat.
And that's our message for this week.
Yeah, man.
Just, you know, keep it simple. That we revisit conversations about something that is very current in our lives during the week. If there's something that you ever want to talk about, leave it in the comments. We will always bring up a conversation. There's always so much to talk about, and just the everyday things. We do real life, real time. You know, this is just,
yeah, thank you.
these are just simple conversations about the reality that we live in right now. This is not the stuff that we see on TV. It's not what we're hearing about in the news. This is what's going on in our lives, in our circle. And know that you are not alone. You are not alone. And we're still trying to learn as well.
Absolutely, guys. Guys, like always, practice being the best version of yourself and protect your peace with all that you've got. May God bless you all. Que Dios me lo bendiga todito. Stay present. Stay grateful. Until next time. Mwah!
From our Crunkfit family to yours, have a wonderful night. Come see us here next Wednesday. What's Up Wednesdays every week, 7:30 p.m. You want a conversation, throw it out there. We'll have it. And Saturday, be sure to show up. Crunkfit. This is what we do. Body weight for everyday living. We'll see you at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Good night, y'all.